Conrado Yap. Captain Conrado Dumlao Yap, 1921, April 23, 1951, was a Philippine Army officer and a recipient of the Philippines' highest military award for courage, the Medal of Valor. Yap was one of the 1367 Filipino troops, 1303 personnel, 64 officers comprising the 10th Battalion Combat Team of the Philippine Expeditionary Forces to Korea PEFTOK, one of the 5 Philippine Army Battalion Combat Team's contingent of United Nations Command Forces that fought in the Korean War 1950-1950. He was killed in action in the early morning hours of 23 April 1951 in a successful counterattack against Chinese Communist forces that overran his hilltop position in territory which currently belongs to Sil. Yap was born in Candelaria, Zambales. He was a graduate of the Philippine Military Academy class of 1943 and was the most decorated Filipino serviceman of the Korean War. Battle of Ultang. After the Chinese entered the Korean War in November 1950, they launched a major offensive the following year that saw Yap's unit, the 10th Battalion Combat Team 10th BCT, opposite 4 Chinese divisions numbering about 40,000 men. Close to midnight of 23 April 1951, the Communist Chinese forces attacked a Puerto Rican regiment positioned on the 10th BCT western flank. As the Puerto Ricans fell back to reconsolidate their lines, the Chinese began to advance up the exposed Filipino unit's flank. A platoon of soldiers from the 10th BCT Tank Company fighting as infantry under the command of Lieutenant Jose Arciaga positioned themselves on a hill on the 10th BCT flank overlooking the Korean village of Ultang. The Chinese attacked them with superior numbers, but Arciaga's unit made a stand. This bought time for his company commander, Captain Yap, to launch a counterattack to rescue Arciaga and his platoon from the Chinese. Both Arciaga and Yap were killed in action. However, that action saved the platoon from total annihilation and stopped the Chinese advance from reaching the exposed flank of the 10th BCT. Lieutenant Jose Arciaga was conferred the United States Distinguished Service Cross as a consequence of his actions at the Battle of Ultang. Military awards. Yap was conferred the Philippine Medal of Valor by Elpidio Quirino and the United States Distinguished Service Cross for his actions at the Battle of Ultang. Medal of Valor citation. Distinguished Service Cross citation. The President of the United States of America, under the provisions of the Act of Congress approved July 9, 1918, takes pride in presenting the Distinguished Service Cross posthumously to Captain Conrado D. Yap, Army of the Philippines, for extraordinary heroism in connection with military operations against an armed enemy of the United Nations while serving, with commemoration. Conrado Yap is commemorated in various ways in the Philippine military. These include Conrado Yap Class Patrol Craft, a series of ex-South Korean Haksing-class patrol boats sold to the Philippine Navy in 1993. Camp Conrado Yap, a Philippine National Police facility in Iba, Zambales. Yap Hall, the Philippine Military Academy's mess hall, is named in his honor. BRP Conrado Yap Peace-39, the Philippine Navy's first modern corvette and its most heavily armed unit. Captain Conrado D. Yap Street, Candelaria, Zambales. Captain Conrado D. Yap Day, non-working holiday in Candelaria, Zambales, every 23rd day of April. Conrado D. Yap Library and Museum in Candelaria, Zambales. Conrado D. Yap Hall Mechanized Infantry Division Headquarters in Camp O'Donnell, Capas, Tarlac. References